the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) says it is awaiting approval of final liquidation order to clear all outstanding investments of customers of Gold Coast Fund Management. This is in response to renewed pressure from customers demanding immediate payment of their locked-up funds. The customers this week picketed SEC, calling on the receiver of the defunct Gold Coast Fund Management company to pay their monies. Now, receiving the petition from the group, Head of Communications and External Affairs, Dr. Godwin Ansah, said SEC is committed to paying the customers.
We have heard about the allegations about 5.5 million, which was approved by Parliament in 2021 for Black Shield customers. And I believe that our response has been very unequivocal and very clear in terms of who these monies were from. First and foremost, we wish to state that SEC doesn't hold on to any monies. We are not the agent in charge of managing the funds. Now, out of the 5.5 billion cedis that was approved by Parliament for this purpose, it's important to note that it was for all affected investors of all 47 fund management companies and not just for Black Shield customers only. So far, the update we received from the agent is that 4.6 billion has so far been disbursed by the government of Ghana and has been apportioned as follows. About 1.3 billion has been paid to customers in tier. 3.1 billion cedis has been apportioned to customers in tier 1 payments, and we also have 1.3 billion which has been paid in tier 2 payments. Now, specifically, it's also important to know that the SEC has shown a lot of commitment towards the process by supporting the process as much as possible. We petitioned the government regarding a partial bailout regarding whilst waiting for the outcome of liquidation orders which were being sought by the official liquidator. Now, so far in the partial bailout process, about 1.3 billion has been paid to customers of Gold Coast, and this took care of partial claims amounting to 73,000 claims in total. Now, it's also important to know that out of this, over 750 million cedis was used to fully settle over 61,000 claims of Black Shield customers. So this shows you without doubt that the SEC has been very proactive as far as the process has been concerned. Our mandate and our commitment remains the integrity of the market and the protection of investors. Well, we cannot agree with the numbers that have been presented by representatives from the other side. We were very clear in terms of what we have done so far. We mentioned that over 73,000 claims have actually been paid or covered with about 1.3 billion Ghana cedis. And also, as far as 61,000 claims were concerned, we have apportioned about 750 million Ghana cedis, which has been used to fully settle these customers. So our numbers are very clear in terms of who we have taken care of. And also important to know that even with the partial bailout which we executed, we had over 82% of all pensioners being taken care of. So whilst we know that a lot has been done, it's important for us to state that we remain committed to the process and seeing it through to the logical conclusion. It's also important to state that SEC is not party to any of the applications in the court. The government gave 2 conditions for which the full bailout would be implemented. One, the liquidation orders being obtained by the official liquidator, and that can be granted through the courts as per the relevant law, and also the validation of claims. We have actually finished with the validation of claims, and the said monies have been paid out even to Black Shield customers under the partial bailout program which the government awarded on humanitarian grounds. So far, we have about 44 out of 46 liquidation orders which have been obtained. We only have 2 outstanding, and we are very committed to the process, and we are sure that these orders will be obtained so that the needful can be done.
The Securities and Exchange Commission are responding to the concerns of Gold Coast Fund Management customers. But then another group, some aggrieved customers of defunct First Fund, say they may be forced to take legal action against the board of directors of the firm and the Securities and Exchange Commission over their locked-up funds. According to the group, the regulator and the board of directors of First Fund have failed to fulfill promises and treated customers with disrespect. Now, one of the aggrieved customers, Michael Kwabla, joins me on Zoom to tell us more about this. So, Michael, for how long have you been chasing your investments? What are the roadblocks? Yeah. Did you hear my question, Michael? So, Michael, I was finding out from you for how long customers of First Fund have been chasing their investments and what are the roadblocks now? I'm going to try one more time to see if Michael can hear me. Can you hear me, Michael? Can you hear me, Michael?
I can hear you. I want to find out whether you can hear me.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. So I was asking for how long you have been chasing your investments. What are the roadblocks?
So we've been chasing the investment since November 2019, when the revocation of license of First Fund was revoked by SEC. We followed up with a demonstration at TTL Capital because SEC handed over the First Fund to TTL Capital to handle. We did the demonstration, and the demonstration led us to get a meager 8% of our locked up funds. That was in August 2021. As we speak, we've not received a dime from the board. They handed over, TTL handed us over to Octane Capital. Octane Capital, after some time, also has handed over to SEM Capital. So it's just more like a chess playing game by the board, frustrating us and making sure that we don't get our funds. We met with Octane DCE, the fund manager for Octane, Mr. Solomon, and he informed us that government, as part of the bailout, has paid about 8 million cedis of our locked funds. I think that's tier 1 or tier 2, and it's a GCB, Ghana Commercial Bank. And all what they needed from the board was an audited account from 2019 to date, and maybe a letter from the auditor. We chased the board. We've sent letters to the board. We've sent letters to SEC. As for the regulator, it is just a dormant and a docile regulator with a Bible quoting CEO. They do nothing about our plight for us. You send them letters, they don't even acknowledge the letters, not even reach out to you. And they are emboldening the board to take us for granted. So as we speak, we have been handed over to SEM Capital, but no communication has been made whatsoever. We had to contact Octane, and Octane to inform us that no, we are no longer the fund manager. And we have 8 million cedis sitting at Ghana Commercial Bank. That's when the board takes steps to appoint an auditor to audit the account and present the report to GCB. GCB will release the funds for us. The last redemption that we did, or that was paid out in August 2021, amounted to only 1 million cedis. So imagine what 80 million cedis can do. I don't know whether the board wants us to forget about the money so that then they share the monies among themselves or not. So that's our plight up to now.
Again, tell us, what are you hearing from management of First Fund and from the Securities and Exchange Commission?
The Securities and Exchange Commission is a docile, dormant institution with a Bible quoting CEO. They do nothing about the plight of people who invest in mutual funds. We've met Reverend Obama once, and within 15 minutes, he had quoted about 20 Bible quotations. That's all that they do. They don't tell us anything reasonable. From August 2021 to date, that's all I'm saying. We've not one CD of our funds has been redeemed. We have at our last press conference, we have pensioners who had saved their pension to access the money to buy drugs. Some of them, unfortunately, have passed out. And that's how bad the situation is. And SEC, we've sent over 5 letters to SEC. They only stamp the letter for you that they received it. Nobody at SEC will even reach out to you. Even when they send an email and you reply, nobody reaches out to you. And because the regulator is docile and dormant with the Bible quoting CEO, that has emboldened the board to do whatever what they want. Because if the regulator is sitting down doing nothing, the board will also sit down and not do anything for us.
It's been 4 years since 2019, right? What are some of the stories you're hearing about the impact of the delays on some of the customers who are affected by this?
It's been very terrible, especially for our pensioners, because they are not into active service and they do not have any money available that they have to fall on their children. And these are hard-working people who have toiled for this country to save their hard-earned funds in order to receive those funds to buy medications. And for us, the young ones, personally, let me give you a personal Personally, I have over, as of 2019, I have over 45,000 cedis with First Fund. In 2020, I had to pay rent. I had to pay rent, a 2-year rent. I had to borrow money from my wife in order to pay the rent because I could not access funds, my own hard-earned money. I can't access it, so I have to borrow money from my wife. Imagine what the others are going through. And look at our economic situations. We're in an economic quagmire. Everything is in downturn. And so if we cannot even access the money that you save, and for some of us, that was our savings. Apart from the pensions that our employers pay for us that you can access at 55 or 60 years, that is our savings that will fall back on. So you realize that our friends and family who do not even save will even mock at us. Because you that you save your money that you can get, you have to redeem it on a rainy day. For over 4 years, you can't even access that fund. So imagine how terrible it is.
So what are the next steps you're taking? You say you may be forced to take legal action. Is that an option now?
That's the available option for now. We have met with a lawyer. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose those matters because he has taken over. And he will want to engage SEC and the board to see how best he can retrieve at least the 8 million at the Ghana Commercial Bank to mitigate the impact we feel. Then he will follow up with the rest, because after 6 years, we are barred. The Limitation Act bars us from accessing those funds. And what it means that the board may just go away with the money.
And time is running out. Thank you so much, Michael Cobbler, a grieved customer of First Fund, joining us, calling on SEC to act on their plea for the payment of the investments. Well,